What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Financial Freedom Friday. I'm here with my friend and business partner, Paul Rodriguez, safe and sound in Tampa, Florida. Paul, how are we doing today, my friend?
I'm blessed, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm living the dream. Living the dream. How was the trip, brother? Everything go well getting down there?
Yeah, it was great, man. It was a long ride, but I'm glad to be where I belong.
I'm glad, man. Welcome back to the South. I'm happy to have you. You're not a 2-day drive anymore. But Paul, let the people know what they're gonna see today. I know you're excited. I'm excited. So let's kick it off, baby.
Yeah, we've got something really special for you guys. We were honored, and we had the privilege to interview Derrick "Dangerous" Smith. He's an amazing individual, amazing person, very charismatic. And he gave us so much insight from Squad Up Summit to the Owners Club Spring Retreat in Arizona. And this guy is the king when it comes to social media. He understands everything really, really well. And he gave us his blueprint on how to be successful in social media. So this will be part one of a 2-part series. And we're so excited for you guys to watch this. And we hope you enjoy it half as much as we enjoyed making it for you. So, without further ado, Derrick "Dangerous" Smith, everybody.
So, all that great content you see?
It's a team. You got a great team, guys. I love taking all the credit, though. No, the team is amazing. The team is absolutely amazing.
But there's a lot of things about Derrick that a lot of people don't know. He's a gamer.
Big time.
Anything else that we don't know about? That's the big one I know about.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a hardcore gamer. Worked in gaming for 12 years for a company called Game Insider Digital Media. That's where I became a student of social media. And then, of course, I love fitness. I'm not trying to flex or brag, but I'm still nervous. But I'm doing a half Ironman December 1st in Acapulco, Mexico. So I like to work out. So my 3 favorite things: my amazing wife, video games, and fitness.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
So obviously you're known for social media. You
Yes.
kill it on everything you do.
Appreciate it.
I want to know more about you. What's your story? You can go into whatever detail you want, but I'd love to know more about you as a person.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say my whole endeavors and growth as far as coming up was basketball. So I played overseas. I was trying to go to the NBA. Had a Clipper tryout, San Antonio Spurs tryout, and of course, while my ego would say they made the wrong choice, it's life. You know, God just kind of orders our steps, and so from that, I went through so I didn't make it to the NBA. Went overseas, came back home, started working, and I went through a state of depression. To be honest, I went through a state of depression for a couple of years in my 30s. Gained a lot of weight. I was over 300 pounds. Believe it or not, I was huge. And then I started running and working out, and then I found this company, Game Insider Digital Media, started doing that, and started running marathons, and just really got into gaming and fell in love with the storytelling of the games, the visual fidelity of the games, and then while I was working in gaming, it was a real good baseline for me to discover social media. But one thing that was interesting was how someone asked me, Derrick, are you able to take your social media prowess for gaming and do it for anybody? And I had never thought about that. And I was like, and my ego was like, of course I can. And so God gave me a chance. So basically at my church, there are people that are entrepreneurs talk. I'm a people person. You're into social media? I'm like, oh, I love it. And so I would work on their little, not their little, but their projects. And I found that I would struggle because marketing Call of Duty is not like marketing this plumber's business. You know what I mean? Because it already has a following. And so I learned how to study analytics. What makes it tick? Lighting matters, audio matters, colors matter, engagement percentages matter, thumbnails, believe it or not, they matter. And so, when do they matter? What type of story are you supposed to tell on an Instagram story? If you copy one's Instagram story, is it going to do as well as theirs? Oftentimes, no. But what are key terminologies that affect stories on Instagram? So all of those little, granular nuances, I had to figure out what works for what. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, right? Yeah, I love to tell people, oh, sure, we can do this on LinkedIn. It makes a lot of money. True, is it organic? It's organic, but it's a trial and error to that, right? I'm following Gary Vee. I mean, people are listening to Pace. I'm taking notes while Pace is talking. I work for them, right? Believe it or not, he's very knowledgeable when it comes to social media. I think I'll smash Pace when it comes to social media if we had a contest. Just saying. But you can learn from any and everyone. You know what I mean? I even learned from my nieces and nephews who are posting, like, why'd you post that? Oh, that was a cool angle. Because things change. And then what also changes with social media is Google and their algorithms, right? So learning when that happens, when does that change happen? So I was in gaming, started doing social media for people at my church. My company got bought out, and I was still there. Management was okay, and then I went freelance. And with freelance, that experience with working with those people from my church, I realized that most businesses, in my opinion, and mine's only, most businesses don't know what they're doing with social media. They have no clue. They're just making a post like a 12-year-old. And it's a static image at that, right? It's like just a post. It is what it is. So my journey from playing ball to a little bit of depression, God got me out of that. Depression, in my opinion, is selfishness. It's like, bro, live for somebody else and get the thoughts off of yourself and move forward. So I started doing that. And the way I found Pace, or the way Pace and I found each other was wild. Because I worked for Dean Graciosi at Mastermind for a year. I was a social media coach. Dean is a great guy. And I was at a dinner party, and this woman walks in, and I'm talking to a gentleman. This woman walks in, and she was, I recognized her. And as a married man, a faithful married man, I ain't trying to check out nobody. But when she came in, I'm like, I know her. And so she walks up to the guy I'm talking to, and she talks to him, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look at her, but God, I don't know who this woman is. She turns to me and is like, hey, honey, how you doing? I said, hey, what's going on? So she walks outside, patio doors. Me and him keep talking. If the conversation finishes, I then go outside looking for my wife. And lo and behold, my wife is talking to this woman. So I walk over, right? Wow, right? I walk over, I'm like, baby girl, what's good? She's like, baby, meet Rahima. I'm like, Jamil's sister from Triple Digit Flip. Yeah. Yo, so I'm like, oh my God, you're on that show. She's like, yeah. She's so sweet, kind. We talked for like 5 minutes, and she goes, you know what? You should come to one of our sets, one of our shows. I'm like, are you serious? So long story short, 3 weeks later, we get reached out. She's like, come to this address. We go there, right? We get there, we get out the car, we're walking in, cameras, and like we own the show. Me, the wife, my realtor, his wife. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. We walk in the house. This beautiful woman standing here with a baby, Laura Morby. Don't know who she is at the time. So Laura Morby standing here with the baby Monday. I walk in, and Rahima's like, hey, honey. I'm like, hey, how you doing? All this is oblivious to me, but I'm like, yo, I'm on the show. This is crazy. We go in. I see Rahima. Pace was this thin white dude sitting in the back with a white t-shirt on with a hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what a Pace Morby is, right? Right. So I walk in, I see Jamil. He has these fly Air Jordans. He gives us the tour. I'm like, yo, your Jordans are slacking, bro. Yeah. We're walking, we're talking. We come back to the main room, and Pace was real chill, cool. We didn't interact at all. But like, hey, what's up, man? I pounded him. Oh, my man, what's up? What's good? He was like, what's good, man? Boom. That was it, right? Yeah. So we leave. It's nothing. At the time, I had just stopped working for Dean. I'm freelancing. I was good. I had an epiphany. Yo, Derrick, throw your resume on Indeed. I'm like, no, I'm good. Personal conversation. Throw over Indeed. I'm like, I threw it out there. I get a phone call from this company called Manifest You. Right? I go into the interview as a social media strategist. And I wasn't actually having a good day that day. I was just kind of like, I think it was my ego that day, because I'm like, man, I ain't trying to work for some company that's all this red tape, there's going to be some bureaucracy. When you're freelancing and working for people, there's liberties in that. But I did the interview, and it went very well. And I liked the people. So it was a phone interview, then that interview, and they say, yo, by the way, our CEO's going to call you. I said, okay. His name is Pace Morby. I said, all right, cool, no problem. Now, again, I went to this house like 3 weeks, a month ago. What's a Pace Morby? I don't know. Yeah, right. So my wife is like, so you have a third interview? I'm like, yeah, somebody named Pace Morby is supposed to call me up tomorrow. She was like, what's his name? I said, Pace Morby.
Like this Pace Morby?
Wifey goes in the other room. She comes back. She's like, babe, I'm in the office playing video games. I'm playing video games, right? I got this dope setup on, right? It's crazy. Playing my PS5, I'm going hard. She's like, babe, Pace Morby. Babe, you won't believe who Pace Morby is? I'm like, who's Pace Morby, babe? Who's Pace Morby, babe? She's like, yo, the house we went to. And she showed it to me. I'm like, I don't know, cuz. Right? It's just, I don't know, homeboy. Right? That's what I said. I don't know him. She's like, baby, this is the guy. I'm like, that's the dude from the show. Because when I watched the show, I was peeping how she was doing her decor. I wasn't really following. I mean, it's really Pace and Jamil. Right. And Rahima's the decorator, right? Her skills are crazy. So I'm like, ooh, how she does this and that. I watched it in passing. I remember her. I wasn't following it on episodes where it's Jamil and him in the car driving. I just wasn't doing that. When she told me that, I was like, oh, wow. I'm going to tell you what was so significant about Pace. So he calls me up. And most times I speak to a person that's the final call to hire me or whatever for a gig. I'm there in front of them. I don't have a portfolio, but I can show them things that I've done. So we call that a digital portfolio. Pace spoke for about 80% of the conversation. He goes, hello? I'm like, I said, hello? He said, hey, this is Pace. I said, Pace, what's going on, man? This is Derrick. So I said, Pace, before we begin this interview, I just want to admit something. So I told him about the time I met him. He was like, oh, really? Wow, that's crazy. And then he went right in. He said, man, look, I'm having a problem. And he just dove right in. And what was very interesting about Pace was Pace knew social media. Like, he's saying stuff, and I'm saying things like, well, why don't you do this? And he's finishing my sentences. Like, oh yeah, do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he calls for another 20 minutes. And I said, well, what about this? Oh yeah, this, that, the other. Derrick, I get it. And because he wants a change in his social media strategy, and this is what's amazing about Pace that I know now. I've worked for people that are influential like Pace. So going into the job, yes, he hired me, but going into the job, and this is just from my experience, people are about their bag. They're about making a lot of money, okay? So I knew my job was to go in, drive analytics, drive numbers, make an understanding of what we're doing, make the proper logistics with an SOP, if you will, across all the platforms. What does that look like, right? And so that's where my mind was. And over time, I discovered the reason why he was desperately wanting his social media to be on point was because of how much he loved his community. I didn't believe that at first. We'd be straight real.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching part 1 of our interview with Derrick Dangerous Smith. We're so glad you made it this far in the video. We got part 2 coming out next Friday, so stay tuned for that. We got a lot more great content coming for you, so thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want to see or who you want us to try to talk to. We will try our hardest, and if we can't, we'll get somebody in that field that's darn close to it. But y'all have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching.